So you can pay off your home 23 years early by using this strategy. What's up, family? It is Caden with Urban Finance. And today we're going to be talking about how to pay off your home in 7 years, or a strategy to pay off your home the fastest possible. And so as you come into the room or the live chat, or the live screening, just drop a hello or what's up in the comment section below. Let me know where you're watching from: YouTube, Facebook. Feel free to say hello or drop your city. And so let's get into it. The fastest way to pay off your mortgage. And there are a lot of strategies to pay off your mortgage early. And so the first one, the strategy that my wife and I were using, and she pretty much came to me the other day and said, this ain't it, this ain't it. I was doing the math and it's not adding up. We're not going to be able to pay off our home in 7 years by using this strategy. And the strategy that we were using at the time was making extra payments on our principal. And if you have a mortgage, you will know that about 1/3 of the mortgage payment actually goes towards the principal, sometimes 1/4, and the rest of it goes towards just the interest payments. And so even though you're paying a lot on the mortgage month to month, your principal don't actually go down a lot. And so we were making extra payments on our principal. And we were doing an actual good job of it. I think for the year so far, we've probably paid almost $20,000 on our principal. And that's throwing an extra $5, $10, $100 here, or an extra bonus on the principal. And so we've been trying to throw everything at it, but we realized that even if we did that, we would not be able to pay off our mortgage in the time that we wanted to. And so we sat down to think of various strategies in order to pay off our mortgage just within 7 years or a lot earlier. The second strategy that a lot of people use to pay off their mortgage, and these aren't bad strategies, they just aren't strategies that will really eliminate your mortgage extremely fast. Another strategy, people try to refinance their mortgage for a lowest rate. And that can be either, a lower rate and a 15-year mortgage. And so that doesn't necessarily help you to pay off your mortgage as quickly as possible, or as quickly as we would have liked it to, because we were probably paying more than even making it to that 15-year mark on our principal. And so that strategy wouldn't help us either. So refinances wouldn't help us. And the last strategy that I think people typically use to pay off their mortgage, and like I say, these are good strategies if you're trying to pay off your mortgage in 15 years, or if you're trying to pay off your mortgage in 20 something years, but it wouldn't do it in 7 years like the strategy I'm going to share with you. And so the last strategy that people typically use is to set up their mortgage to make bi-weekly payments. And when you set up your mortgage to make bi-weekly payments, you actually make one extra payment at the end of the year. And let's say you had a $200,000 mortgage for 30 years at a 4.5 interest rate. If you made that 1%, if you made that one extra payment every year by doing a bi-weekly mortgage payment, you would actually pay off your mortgage 5 years early and save about $28,000 in interest on that $200,000 loan. And so that's a good strategy, but it still did not get us to our goals of paying it off in 7 years. And so that's kind of our fire number, or our fire goal. What's up, Bale Song? And if you're now joining this broadcast, feel free to smash the like button. I'm going to go over a strategy that my wife and I decided on in order to pay off our mortgage in 7 years. And we believe, and I firmly believe, it is the fastest way to pay off our mortgage. So if you're joining, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have, as well as smash the like button for me. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. All right, let's go on. And so those are three strategies that you potentially use to pay off your mortgage, but wouldn't work necessarily as fast as the strategy that we decided to go with. And so what we decided to do after, my wife was like, hey, the numbers are not adding up. What we decided to do, and I'll share my screen with you, is to invest the money and use our invested money to pay off the mortgage. And I'll show you how this actually works. as I share my screen. And if you're watching, feel free to, ask any questions or anything like that. And so this is the first screen I will share. And so if you follow this channel, you would know that most of our money is in the S&P 500 index fund. And so one of the things we're doing, we're investing into the S&P 500 index fund, the money that we would have been throwing at our principal. And so here we have a graph showing various years of the returns that the S&P 500 fund have given. And you see 2021, it's 16.33%, 2020, 16.26. On average, in the last 5 years, we can say it has given about a 15% return in the S&P 500 index. And the next thing we figured out is how much money we could potentially throw at our mortgage. And so let's say you're throwing $2,500 at your mortgage each month. And again, this is not at your mortgage. This is into an investment account outside of your retirement account that tracks the S&P 500. This is what the strategy that we decided to go with that helps us to pay off our mortgage in the timeline that we need to. And so if we can see 7 years here, if we were to invest $2,500 over the course of 7 years, and like I said before, the S&P 500 gave in the last 5 years about a 15% return. And we're not saying that, we're going to get a 15% return over the next 5 years. We know that the stock market is not that predictable. And we know an average, over a long period of time, the S&P 500 gives on average, let's say over the course of a 30-year period, a 10% return. But just in the last, if we were to use the return for the last 5 years, if we were to put aside $2,500 each month, that would have us at $339,000. And so if you have a $300,000 mortgage, for example, if you were to use this strategy over the last 7 years, you would have been able to pay off your home. And like I said, this is actually the fastest way that we've seen to do it. And so this is the strategy that we're using. Now, this money for us, since 7 years from now, we're not going to be retirement age. This is not being invested in a retirement account. This is being invested into the S&P 500 index outside of a retirement account. If you're watching this, and this is actually the fastest way out of all of the strategies we looked at to pay off the mortgage. If you're watching this and you know of a way that's faster and safer, drop it in the comment section below at any time. And I say safer because someone may say, maybe throw your money in Tesla or something like that. And while I like Tesla as a stock, as a way to achieve financial peace and financial freedom just in 7 years, that's not a risk I'm willing to take with this set of money. And so as you can see, and so even if we decrease the interest rate on this to, let's say, a more common interest rate, you'd see even in 7 years, you will have $289,000. Now, there are a lot of things to consider with this strategy. The stock market is not predictable. So you can't just say, okay, I'm positive that it's going to give me this 10 or 15% return that it has over the last 5 years. And so one of the things that we're doing 6 years from now, that will be $269,000. And this is not our actual mortgage amount. And this is not actually how much we need, but this is the exact strategy that we're implementing. And this is not necessarily how much we're saving, or it might be. But as you can see, one of the key aspects of the strategies to recognize is that since the stock market gives a different amount of return, if you're safe like me, here's what I would do. So say the first year I invested, the stock market we have here a pretty much a 1% loss in 2015. And then we had a 9% gain, and then we had a 19% gain, and then we had a 6.24% loss. And then in, I believe this is year 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In year 5, we had a 28% gain. And so over this period of time, we can probably say that may be about a 10% return. And so maybe on the year of that 28% gain, that's when we may sell out of our investments in order to invest, and then even do the next 2 years. And so the way you want to play it with the stock market is not just to, and man, get some, I'm on the right track. So I'm happy you're on the right track, Bale Song. And so you want to sell out on the years that the stock market is high, because the stock market, you cannot predict it. You may have some down years, you may have some up years. Do not sell on the years that the stock market is down, or we won't sell on the years that the stock market is down, but that is going to mess up this strategy completely. And so using this strategy, we will be able to pay off the mortgage in time. And so that's one thing to remember. Do not sell your stocks on down years. You're looking for to sell on up years, and you're holding for at least 6 to 7 years. And obviously you will input your numbers into this compound interest calculator to kind of figure out how much you need to invest. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comment section. I'll take some questions at this time, if anyone at all have any questions. But yeah, this is the strategy pretty much. And I think that the biggest disclaimer is what I mentioned. You want to sell on up years. And so using this strategy, you can absolutely pay off your home a lot earlier than you would be able to if you were just to put the money towards the principal or use some of the other strategies that I mentioned. All right, family, I'll end the live stream there. If no one have any questions, feel free to drop questions at any time. I'll be going back through this, the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer any comments or questions that people may have. Like I always say, God bless y'all, and remember to live your best life. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section and smash that like button for me. All right, I'll see y'all next time.